Yes.
Um, but in fact, that is not what we're here to do today. We are here to get caught up on some Arkham. So let's do that, guys. They've dropped a few articles. Obviously, if you've been keeping track of all of the previews and spoilers, there's been a lot around. I've caught them here and there. I haven't been in the headspace to like go seek stuff, so it's kind of fun. I get surprised every now and then
Yeah.
by new cool stuff that I haven't seen, which is an experience I haven't had with Arkham in a while. So. But they have dropped on us at the end of each of these weeks a full preview article for 3 of the new investigators that are in the Chapter 2 core set. So let's dive in. First up is the private investigator. We talked about him a little bit last time when Ian and I streamed. It's Joe Diamond, but let's talk about him in a little bit more detail. Now, I know there's a little bit of consternation because the Mythos busters in the past have sort of aligned each individual buster with a class. Which of you claims Seeker nowadays? Is it either both? I know Justin and I know Scott. You've been back and forth between like Seeker Survivor.
Yeah, for me, it's more like if I'm playing to have fun. I like all the classes, and Survivor's kind of that like catch-all, right? Like it's, um, I know you're laughing, Justin. Like
If
Seeker
I'm
is
playing
my
this game to have fun,
Seeker is my try-hard class. Like when I'm like,
Sure.
okay, it's Iron Man, let's get this shit rolling. That's probably where I'm going. Well, especially if I'm doing clues, and I've seemed to fall into that role a few times during Iron Mans and stuff like that. Survivor's still my favorite because it just feels like all those wild, wacky ideas that the devs have for an investigator. Like, this doesn't really fit in Mystic or Guard. Put it in Survivor. You know what I
Put it
mean?
a
It's like,
Survivor, make it their off class. Fuck it.
yeah, yeah. It's just like, where can we put this really weird ability? Throw it on a dog, I guess, and just put it down there.
Respect. That is why Survivor is just about everyone's second favorite class, right? Like,
Yeah, it's just the jank, right? I love jank. So
mm-hmm. And it will be interesting to see. Again, we've been speculating and putting together what pieces of information we have up to this point, but it will be interesting to see what class identity shifts or stays the same as we move into
mhm.
Chapter 2. But either way, returning to the original point, Justin, since you are more strongly and wholly aligned to the Seeker, do you want to read Joe Diamond?
I can absolutely read Joe Diamond. Right, Joe Diamond, the private investigator, 2 will, 4 intellect, 4 combat, 2 agility. Reaction: after you successfully investigate, draw 1 card, limit once per round. Elder Sign effect, +1 if you succeeded, or if you succeed, draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. I can't stop now, not when I'm so close to the truth. And 7/7 statted.
All right.
So no change in stats.
Yep. No real surprises as far as the numbers go. And I
Big
don't
change
believe.
on text.
Yeah,
Right.
big change on complexity for sure. Going from kind of a mid to late life chapter 1 investigator where he has his own like whole gimmick that is his own thing, just
Mhm.
straight back down to basics. Investigate, draw cards. Like so wholly Seeker.
As I saw this, Scott, I think about how you sometimes refer to Ashcan as like my first investigator type thing, or like
Fisher
Fisher
Price, my
Price.
first investigator. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that's kind of what this feels like, and I don't mean it as a slight,
Yeah.
but it's just does the thing.
It's back to basics. And I mean, I totally get it, right? Like this chapter 2 core set, they're looking to be an offering to players like us who obviously play a ton, and then also those new players. And I think you definitely need some investigators out there who are just simple brass tacks. And I think that there's going to be some experienced players who look at this and look at the old Joe Diamond and they're like, "Oh, I'm kind of sad," because like that whole hunch deck thing was such a cool idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it added a real pizzazz to running Joe. Um, but as a huge Ursula stan, I think that we need to be very careful to not sleep on this Joe because this ability is just as you're going about doing what you're supposed to do in the game to move the game forward, you're getting advantage,
You're
right?
just
Like
drawing cards.
you successfully investigated, draw a card. Well, yeah, okay, it's one per round, but this means you're drawing double what your friends are drawing around the table by default, right? Because like with Ursula, it's like, well, you have to move to play the game, and you have to investigate to move the game. So yeah, I think this
Yep.
is actually like while it is pretty plain Jane, it's very simple, still good.
Hey, meat and potatoes will sustain you just fine. Like
Oh yeah.
there's a reason it's a staple.
Hmm.
Now, kind of jumping a little bit ahead in the article here, we did. I don't know if we've
Hey, Sean, I'm
seen.
sorry. Before we
Yeah.
jump ahead, can you actually scroll back? Because I had a just random aside, not about the substance of this card, but I have been falling into the camp of I know there are thoughts on the art we have seen
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
from the new cards, and I am less aggressively uh mad at. I'm not mad at all. I'm just like, wow, some of it doesn't quite hit for me. And today I don't know what changed, but I figured out why the investigators don't hit for me. And it's actually not the investigators, it's the template. It's
Mm.
you actually see the full scene behind them instead of
Hmm.
having the class symbol behind them.
Yep.
Hmm.
And so I think to me that makes the investigators I noticed the difference between the art on them and the art in the background. It's
Yeah.
probably exactly the same on every investigator we've used before, but because there's not a seeker symbol that's transparent behind him, I noticed it so much more, and it like
Hmm.
broke my brain when I was like, why does that matter? But it does.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a change in style along with like the little bits of templating changes we've seen. And it was one of the interesting things about chapter 1 where you'd get used to the art on an investigator's like actual card, and then you see their art either on the back or more often on their mini card, and like there's something that just is weird about it because suddenly there's more to it and there's elements you didn't see. That's going to be less of a thing now because we actually see more of the art.
And
But yeah,
looking closely at Joe's art, he's left-handed. So there you go.
I didn't think about that.
Or is he
Are we sure?
right-handed and acting left-handed
Or
because he
double,
knows that you're looking at it, so he wants you to think he's left-handed?
Or is he pulling a
maybe.
Neo? All right, hang on. Now I want to go find like Joe Diamond's like old art and look at which hand the gun is in. Is he? Is it? Is it like Link where he was left-handed the whole time and just at a certain point you realize it and was like, oh my god? That might have
Oh
been
my
just me.
goodness.
That might have been just
He's
me.
one of the 10%.
Morton says, "What happens to Sean's face and who is this beardless stranger?" All right, I'm going to make this about me for a quick moment and go on a tangent. I shaved because I had needless tragedy in my life. I was because I trim my beard and shave in the shower normally. And I was moving real fast one day, and I'd gotten to the point
Uh-oh.
where I like having the longer mustache because it just lays down and looks better. And I was moving too fast, and I came in with the buzzer, like doing like kind of like precision work, where you're just like cleaning up.
Hmm.
And I just I took a swipe right here, almost down to the skin, and I'm like, there's no saving it. There's no saving it. We're back to formula, boys. Just
You
oh
learned
man,
nothing from my mishap a few months ago. You
nope,
learned nothing.
nope, clearly not. But anyway, yes. So we're sometimes you got to burn the forest down to make room for new growth, and that's what we did.
Sean's beard, chapter 2.
Hopefully it'll
Amazing.
be as
Yeah.
robust as chapter 1, but
Yeah.
we got to get
We'll
there.
see how it looks after we can see the full view of it. If the coloring and the art's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's still got the same base face,
that's
right?
right.
It's just new content that's coming out.
I'm gonna tell you the coloring gets more and more washed out year by year. We're earning every one of those whites.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Anyways, Joe.
returning to relevant matters. The I don't know if we have had Joe's full back spoiled at this point. I don't believe the article spoils it. So I don't know if it's been out there. I know we've had like some weird leaks that we us personally stylistically choose to stay away from. But anyway, the article does say that he can splash Guardian cards, can also include Guardian cards in his deck. Whether that means that we are going with the tried and true formula of 0 to 5, 0 to 2 off class, or whether it's, they're experimenting with something else. Joe does remain a Guardian Seeker. So there is that. And I
Chat's
think
saying we have seen it legitimately. It is 5-2.
okay, great,
So
great.
yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. I love knowing things. Um,
Yeah.
So another thing about Joe is that he's gonna take kind of, I assume, the place of your Roland in the current core, in that he's probably gonna be the investigator that most people will point newbies at if they want to play true solo. True or false?
He's got the 2 stats that count. He has access to the clue and killing classes, and he has good efficiency. So I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, and we'll talk about her in a little bit, but we did get a little bit of Trish spoiled.
Mhm.
In someone captured a marketing picture that reveals her text. I do think she's going to be a very solid runner up for a little bit more advanced of Arkham play, but I do think most new players, at least, to get a feel for how the game normally rolls and how you function in it, Joe's going to be a pretty solid go to.
Mhm.
Happy to be wrong about that. If the core comes out and every single investigator in it is very viable in true solo, then I'll gladly eat crow on that. But yeah, and I guess one last thing, his Elder Sign effect. Don't sleep on that. Like, it's just a +1, but if you succeed, get a card and a resource.
And I mean, there's not going to be many tests where you're going to fail with a +1.
Yeah.
Like even a lot of willpower tests in the game, at least chapter 1, like coming off the encounter deck are 3s, and he's at a 2, so a +1 will get you there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be later on in the game, and yeah, so I
Yeah,
like it.
well, and that is also interesting to talk about, because as we move from chapter 1 to chapter 2, I will be interested to see if they mix up kind of the base difficulty of the game in that way at all. Because the way it exists
Yeah.
right now, as we understand it, is like 3 difficulty is your basic test, right? 2
Mhm.
is a little bit on the easier side, 4 cranks it up, and then 5 makes it really tough. But yeah, I mean, +1 is super solid, and a card and a resource. Mateo had to work so hard for that.
What was that big test in Circle and Done? Was it 20? Where you
Oh
had to
yeah,
add all
the
the 4
giant
stats
circle
together?
test. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, a little tough.
So, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other cards that were spoiled here.
Mhm.
So,
I'll read out his signature.
yeah, do that. Do
Um,
that.
it's Detective's Intuition, 0 cost event, love it. Willpower, intellect, and wild icon. Insight traded, love that. Joe Diamond, deck only, gain 2 resources and heal 1 damage or horror. Reaction after you draw Detective's Intuition during your turn, reveal it and draw 2 additional cards. Whew, that is fantastic.
Let's keep recursion
I
away
love
from seekers at all costs.
it.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
like,
is.
what a sig.
Mm-hmm.
What a
And I mean,
sig.
it hurts if you draw it outside your turn, but I mean, it's
Does it
still
though?
0 cost. It's got great pips. Um, yeah.
I mean, even if you
And
draw it outside of your
they made
turn,
it
you're
a
still.
seeker card.
Yes.
Is what's sorry?
No, I hadn't seen this yet, and
Oh,
I'm just yeah, they made it a seeker card. Are they doing this with the
Yep.
others too? Where they're
yeah.
interesting?
Yep. So what we've
Which I
seen so
really like
far.
because they did that with the starter decks or
Mm-hmm.
the what do you call them? Like you know
Yeah.
the you could buy just the deck,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's allowed. Just because a lot of the cards in the game say like, "Oh, go find a seeker card, go find a rogue
Right.
card." It's like I can't get my rogue's signature card. Like, shouldn't that be a rogue card? I love this change for chapter 2.
Agree.
Okay.
Agree.
Yeah,
And
can't wait to
maybe
break it.
if we, I can't even remember if we ever talked to MJ or Nate when we had them on about why that choice was made, but I'm not 100% sure why that choice was made.
Mhm.
But it is nice to see, because at least you would think that your class, or sorry, your signature card would have class solidarity. So it's
Mhm.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
that's
Very
cool.
welcome
Anyway,
change.
sorry, I know I interrupted you, Sean. I just kind of was like blowing my mind over here. Like, wait, that's a yellow card.
Yeah, yellow, and it
Mhm.
doesn't have the little. It's got
The
the
pips for
the pip slot,
the XP,
the pip board,
the
the
level
pin
level.
Yes. What the fuck is that thing called? Guys, this game
The
has existed for 10 years and we've never named that part on a card.
the cribbage line.
The skunk line.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's filled. It's
Yeah.
filled like a signature card should be. Outside
Mhm.
of the original OG version of the core set where they didn't do that. But yeah, anyway,
Mhm.
super, super solid card. And if you don't see it during your turn, like fine, great pips, it's decent ability. It'd be interesting to see if you get any cards that there are some cards that exist currently that let you shuffle cards from your hand back into your deck that I think up to this point really only Mandy has cared about. So it'd be interesting to see, in a legacy format, like a Joe deck that loops this card a little bit.
I'm also just gonna throw out there, I'm really excited for like even a year from now for the legacy format where it's like we're combining, I don't know, some card from Dunwich that lines up with like some like card that everyone's shelved off of Dunwich or something, and it lines up with some card in this new set, and it's like, whoa, check out this guy, because I love absolute janky broken stuff. If everyone at the table is
Agree.
fine with that, right? But
Agree.
yeah,
All right, moving on from
yeah,
there, an oldie but a goodie. One
yeah.
of my current favorites that is pretty much just ported over. I'm pretty sure exactly as she is now. We got the lab assistant.
Hmm. Yep.
Two cost willpower icon, ally miskatonic science. Your maximum hand size is increased by 2 after you play lab assistant. Draw 2 cards. 1 health, 2
Yep.
sanity, ally slot. Like if I'm
Yeah.
building a deck with seeker access and I can't think of a better ally to include, this one just goes in. Like such a solid little ally for the cost.
Yep. Got a little soak. You draw 2 cards for 2 resources. Like, yeah, it's especially with Joe's signature, right?
Ooh, is high points out. It's after you play instead of after it enters. That is important. And kind of, come on, guys, really? Was anyone super abusing the lab assistant? Was that necessary? All right, fine, whatever. But
Oh, were people like blinking it? Like,
I mean,
oh, oh,
because
so this is like if you were able to bring her back from the grave or the discard pile
yeah, put
and
her
put her
into
into play.
play through other means than a standard play action.
Oh, okay.
Which,
Well, yeah, sure,
eh,
fine.
whatever. I still have the legacy version. It's fine.
Yep. Which one are you playing? Yeah.
Scott, you want to do gather intel?
Yeah, it's a one cost event. These are all secret cards. I'm not going to mention that again. One cost event, level 0, intellect and agility icon. Almost forgot agility there. Ian would be horrified. Insight traded fast when an enemy enters your location. Draw 2 cards. Sweet.
All right. We do
One
enjoy
cost for
drawing
two
cards.
cards. Yep. And that would be even if it spawned on you too. So you could do this in the Mythos phase
Mm-hmm.
because it enters your location.
Yep, and that fast protects you from any potential attacks of opportunity if this were to happen outside of Mythos and like you're in the middle of doing something.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more niche, but we do like fast
Yeah.
events. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do this in the enemy phase, like when they move in, draw 2 cards. That might help you with the I don't know with some card where it's like test to prevent them attacking or something. You've maybe drawn some icons or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
or the card that actually allows you to test to cancel an attack. Who knows?
Or you could get through the cracks, the one that we previewed to help you get out of that situation. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
think in the OG core. And now my problem is my boomer ass is only geared to really remember the OG core. I own the
Mm.
revised core, but I cannot off the top of my head remember all the
Yes.
differences. So if there's anyone who's in that in between spot where you know the revised core, sorry, I'm going to be speaking nonsense for a minute here. But in the OG core, did we have a seeker 0 cost event that drew cards? I know we have cryptic research, but that was a level 4 card.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think we
that's
did.
kind of crazy to think that like card draw became one of Seeker's like bigger strengths, and even in the core set we didn't have kind of that like simple draw cards event. At least
Yeah, I'm
not that I
trying to
can
think. We
remember.
did the old book of lore.
Yep, asset.
Yep. Working a hunch is clues. Yeah, no.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And these are the sorts of things that this is just me looking at this because, if it were me designing a new core, these are the sorts of things where I'm like, all right, we have the identity established in chapter 1. Here's what we pop in to like get that going straight from the get go, where maybe we didn't have it before. So I'm very geared to see those sorts of things.
We did have cryptic research, which was
Yeah.
XP for
Level
0
4.
cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
Which
a level 0. Yeah.
remains one of the more efficient card draw cards in the game, though I can't remember the last time I put it in a deck because there's just stuff available at lower XP costs.
It feels like a very end of the campaign. Like, I got 4 XP. This helps me draw all the other cards I upgraded, so I'll go with that one. Like, yeah.
Oh, his high points out again. The old lab assistant was an intellect icon instead of a willpower icon. I am playing her in a Charlie deck this very moment, so I should know that because I rely on her heavily to actually hit intellect tests. So that's an interesting change. So okay, so it is a slightly different card. So here's my question, and there probably is no answer. Why is it lab assistant? Why? Because there are so many cards that I've seen that are like very close to cards that already exist, but they are slightly different and they're different cards. Why lab assistant stayed the same despite the changes, but other cards get like new card titles is, I don't know. We'll have to have Nick and Duke on. And
Are you saying why not make a new person?
yeah,
That is
why
very
not just have a different card draw ally that has these changes?
Laboratory note taker,
Yes.
and it's
assistant in the laboratory.
well,
assistant
I guess
to the laboratory assistant.
Then if you're playing like that legacy version, you could play both. And I don't know if they want to avoid that.
Oh,
Maybe.
interesting.
Like what if you had 2 charismas? Now you could have like 3 lab assist / note takers out.
Aren't
And
you
now you're
limited to 2 copies of a card by title in a deck unless it's myriad?
right, but if they made a newly titled card,
I see what
right?
you're saying. If they
With
did
that
it the
almost
other
the
way.
same exact thing, then
Sure.
you could double dip
Sure.
or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't want you
Fair.
running 4. I'm not sure like if that's the point, but
That's a strong argument. I see that.
I do
Well,
like how this is now like if you are playing that legacy thing, you can be like, "Ooh, do I want a willpower or an intellect?" Because for the most part, right? Like
Yeah.
unless you're doing tricks with the discard pile and the entering versus playing and stuff like that, um, you could choose an icon and be like, "Oh, I want intellect more." Something.
Yeah. That is
I'm also surprised that Captain Capitalism Scott hasn't mentioned. I mean, there's also the reality of new cards, same art would maybe be weird. So this would be paying
true.
for new art. And so if they're
Yeah,
just going to repurpose it a little, saves some
just a
money.
tweak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, don't want to let pass. Saw Big Kahuna re-up the subscription while we were talking, so thanks.
27 months.
Thanks, Chris.
Holy
Damn.
moly!
No one's ever gonna break that streak.
No, that's the highest.
King sub. Which is kind of an oxymoron when you think about it. All right, so let's talk about magnifying glass. Another oldie but a goodie.
Now I'm gonna like look up magnifying glass for the old one because I need to check it.
Yeah, I know. Now we need to like scrutinize every one of these. While you're doing that, all right. So
It's the same.
Okay, it's level 0, 1 cost, seeker asset, intellect icon, item tool, traits, fast. You get +1 intellect while investigating, and hand slot. A lens into a world unseen can reveal things you wish it hadn't. Is the flavor text the
collector? I don't look at flavor text. Yes, it is, but it's printed differently. It's like they hit enter halfway through the line. On the original one, it was just one straight line.
What
Yeah,
does
Also,
it mean?
They changed the template. There's more space for
They
game
did, yeah.
text, I believe, too. So
Yeah,
all right, well,
maybe they just want to emphasize that now they could put 2 lines of flavor text if they really want to. So
true.
also the collector number changed, so
Ooh.
there's that. Yeah.
All right. Well, what is there to say
Cool.
about magnifying glass that we haven't said in 16 different ways on 16 different episodes?
Yep.
It's
Another good staple for the core.
very solid, very cheap. Probably gets upgraded out as you move along the campaign. So let's move on then to local map. Where are we at? Justin, you want to read this one?
I can read this one. All right, 3 cost, agility icon, uses 4 secrets, action, spend 1 secret, investigate, uh, and then for the way they're templating this now, it's investigate with intellect. Like we have to
Yep.
call that out.
Mhm. The
Yep. So
skill that's being used, yeah.
investigate with intellect. Investigator revealed connecting location. You get +1 intellect for this investigation. If you succeed, you may exhaust the local map to move to that location. Flavor text. I could swear we've been here before. Takes up a single hand slot, and the art is super cool and mimics what they did for the little Gen Con postcard a few years ago when they were
Oh, yeah.
revealing some stuff.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. Interesting. So again, we're
Yep.
seeing one of Seeker's classic class identities drawn into focus here, where you're not getting extra clues, but you're getting a move, which
Mm.
is a fantastic solo card.
Also, investigating at a connecting location is another
Yeah,
seeker thing, right?
true.
Like it's like investigating somewhere else. I want to challenge you though, Sean. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I actually like these things solo
Really? Okay.
because the reason
Oh,
being
it's
is like,
revealed. It's revealed.
that's the thing, right? And it
Damn.
depends on the map, the campaign, like because when I read this, I was like, oh, that's such a good, my Ursula deck. But I was like, but if I'm playing solo, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
clearing out clues and then I'm leaving, right? And I don't plan to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So this to
Well,
me is a very good two-player where you're trying to stick together.
but does that maybe change the way you approach solo? Is clear out clues and move? Maybe does this potentially change how you could play where you would go and then could clue back?
I think it would
Given
depend
that
on the
you
map.
can investigate at a connecting location, that is a possibility for sure. I am
Hmm.
a little, I don't know what word I want to use. I'm gonna say miffed. We'll go with miffed. I think that's light enough. I'm a little miffed that they do seem to be nerfing movement abilities to revealed locations. We saw that with the
Hmm.
through the cracks that we got to preview. That card would have been significantly better had that not said revealed location. So I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm I'm wondering what they're guarding against, because movement is movement, and I get things like, for instance, like summon servitor, where that moves on its own and it's independent of an investigator. It makes sense for that not to be able to open up a location. But if your investigator is
Hmm.
moving to a location, even if it's through an ability, what's the harm of being able to open a location that you can otherwise open? It's not like this is letting you into something you can't reveal. Uh,
It could be that they are saving that ability for leveled up cards, where level
I hope
zero
that's the
stuff
case.
is it's revealed, and then like you get to level 2, 3, 4, 5 is where you start to see unrevealed stuff.
Sure, that could be. I hope that's true. Oh wait, hang on. We had leveled up through the cracks. What did that say? I don't have it available to me right now. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I've noticed, where it's like all these movement abilities are greatly hampered in their ability to actually be good by necessitating that you move to a
Hmm.
revealed location.
Yeah. JP also points out specifically for this card that unrevealed locations don't have clues on them. So for this card, it
Fair.
doesn't really matter.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Because this one is specifically moving you to the place that you're
Yeah.
investigating. So yeah, fair on this
But
one. But
but I 100% agree with you about it has been a lot of even like later on in chapter 1, like it's been a lot of revealed location stuff.
mm-hmm. And I just
Yeah.
wonder what the need is, because the Arkham has other means of making it harder or impossible when needed to move into a location. Why are our player cards restricting us?
It
Yeah.
really feels like it's refreshing the sandbox. I don't even know if there's a particular thing they're addressing. It does just seem like they're, hey, here's that delineating line. This is how we want it to be.
Sure.
And
Hmm.
maybe there's more to it with how the design space is going, but that is one of those where it just feels like okay, we get a chance to, in theory, for people who are not going to be playing with the chapter 1 stuff, do a clean slate, and this is how we do it.
Yeah.
And that's one
Hmm.
that stands out for me.
Yeah.
And that may well be, and good on it, but I'm curious what problem they're solving or what imbalance they're adjusting, like it I would never have clocked, like, oh, cards that move you shouldn't move you into unrevealed locations. that's not a problem. Like, because that's not
They're
the
just
restricting factor.
they're just future proofing for the return of Luke. That's what's happening.
Well, look. Nick doesn't talk a ton of shop with me because we have to not do that. But one thing I do know is that he hates the amount of rules questions that they get
Loves
due
Luke.
to Luke
Loves
Robinson.
Luke. Yeah.
Loves him as a player, hates him as a
Yeah.
dev. So I don't know where that puts us.
Yeah.
But
As a dev, I can't imagine liking a character that can like glitch through walls, you know? Yeah.
yeah, in a board game, a character that can clip boundaries is a very interesting
Yeah.
thing to have.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move
Okay.
on then to a Dorothy. So speaking
Yes.
of old cards in new forms,
Mm-hmm.
Scott, I think we're over to you.
Yeah, Dorothy Simmons, straight A student. 3 cost asset, intellect icon, ally, and Miskatonic. Love that trait. You get +1 intellect. I love this already. Reaction after you successfully investigate by exactly 1 or 3, exhaust Dorothy Simmons. Gain 1 resource. 1 health, 1 sanity takes up the ally slot. I'm going to read the flavor text because
Yep.
I think this is so awesome.
Uh-huh.
I've taken every class that Dr. Christopher offers. Yeah, I
Look,
love that shout out. Like, yeah.
this is one place where, like, hey, there's a card that exists in chapter 1. Here's a tuned down version for chapter 2.
Yeah.
This is one place where I'm super okay with it. And the fact that they
An
straight up call
homage.
that out is fantastic. A plus,
Yeah,
no notes.
Christopher was broken. Here is a much more balanced and appreciative
Yep.
version.
I love it so much. And still good, 3 cost.
Yeah.
Occasionally will get you a resource. I do think in Legacy
Mhm.
you're gonna have a lot more ability to try to tune that in because of all the tools Seekers have to
Mhm.
hit an exact number.
Mhm.
If you're playing just chapter 2 by itself, it's gonna be a little bit wilder, I imagine, but still will
Just
happen.
luck based, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Still will happen. So very solid there. Then I think the next one is Sharp Rhetoric, and this is the first of a whole series of cards that we're now seeing,
That I
which is
love.
interesting. Yes. So Sharp Rhetoric, level 0, 2 cost asset, willpower, intellect icons, talent traded, triggered action, free triggered action. Do we have an official name for this yet?
I think it's a free trigger.
Okay.
I think.
Non-action
I
ability, free triggered
we've been
triggered
doing this for
ability.
we've been doing this for 10 years and we still haven't figured out what the lightning bolt means.
Nick, Duke,
Yeah.
give us an official name, please.
There is an
If they
official
haven't
name. We
already.
just always forget it.
Really? Okay. Well, now Nick's
Yes.
on the dev team, so it's officially a Squiggly Boy or lightning or whatever his one was. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get back to this
Squiggly
card.
boy, I think it was. Yeah.
So it is a free triggered action. Spend 1 resource. You get +1 intellect for this test, +2 instead if this is investigation or parlay. And then Squiggly Boy, spend 1 resource. You get +1 willpower for this skill test, +2 instead if this is investigation or parlay.
I love this.
That's so obviously the OG core set had very similar cards that I think we all learned to play with back when it was all we had to play with, but I think very quickly after new cards started to come out, those got shelved and pulled out in only very specific decks that had like strong resource engines. Is that fair to say?
100%.
So I think that they were up against the we want similar cards because you need this sort of thing in a very limited card pool that you kind of have to plan the core set that way. But we need to make them juicier, and this is good. I like this, like giving you an extra boost for that same resource, for very usable things. Like if it's an investigation or a parlay, both things we will be doing, and both those skills are the ones we're generally doing them with. It seems a good way to go to address that issue. What do you guys think?
The highest praise I can give a card is the fact that I'm considering this in Ursula.
In Ursula.
Like in my Dubs deck. Right? Like 1 single copy, because like 1 resource to get +2 intellect, like that's a really good value, especially when like 70% of my tests in the game are going to be investigating with intellect.
Yep. Yeah, and presumably we'll get. I think the other preview articles I looked ahead a little bit have similar ones, but like, I don't know. I think these ones will less quickly get entirely usurped, than the OG core ones did.
Well, and I think part of it too is with it being in the core, for again some of the like newer players or people who don't play as much. I say this as someone who I probably, if some people saw how often I use hyper awareness, they would shudder.
Hmm.
I mean,
It's a solid thing and it works for me. So that this does a similar thing. It's just it seems like it's better. Um, so I think it to me this really speaks to someone where I am at in the like I don't know skill. Oh my god, what's the
curve,
The
diagram?
chart curve,
bell
Yeah,
curve.
a
the
bell
bell
curve.
chart, bell curve. Yeah, like for where I'm at, this one speaks to me. But it's also it's fun to hear where you're at with it, Scott, because I think it speaks to you on a very different part of that bell curve.
Hmm.
Well, and to
Well,
be
I
fair,
just
hyper
think of
awareness is really good because it's a good example of it gives you two options that both you will need to advance the game. It gives you an investigate
yes.
option and an evasion option. So
Mhm.
it's probably the better one of the core set ones.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Evasion,
that's the thing.
physical
Higher ed,
training.
I think, may be the best one in
Yeah,
of those
well,
five, and so
well,
that
higher
that's
ed
speaks to
was
what the
Dunwich, and that was leveled
oh,
up first.
sorry, I didn't mean higher ed.
Hyper awareness.
The awareness, hyper
Gotcha.
awareness was the best one out of the core,
Understood.
or whatever it was that
Hmm.
thing. And sorry, the reason I had higher ed on my mind is this top ability, like that's higher ed level of resource
Hmm.
conversion to stats,
Yeah. Hmm.
which is why like I can see this going in. I don't know what do you want to call it? Really efficient, high power decks. I don't know what to classify that as, but like
Power decks.
this is fantastic. Power decks, sure.
Yeah. Seems really good.
Yep. Hmm.
All right. Let's move it on.
Fingy print.
Fingy prints. I think we're back to Scott. Justin? I don't know. I lose track every time. Someone read.
All right. Fingerprint kit, 4 cost asset, intellect icon, item, tool, uses 3 supplies. Action, exhaust fingerprint kit and spend 1 supply. Investigate with intellect. You get +1 intellect for this investigation. If you succeed, discover 1 additional clue at your location. Takes up a hand slot.
As we would
It
expect.
is the same.
It is the same.
Okay. Whew.
Just with the
Uh,
new
it,
syntax.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. You know what? I love that this is in the core. When we got this, oh God, when did it come out? Circle and Done.
Really?
It became a,
We didn't get
yeah,
fingerprint kit until Circle Undone? I feel like we've had that since Dunwich. That is crazy. Huh.
yeah. But I mean, that speaks to it, right? Like how
Yeah,
good of a card. Well, and we didn't get the upgrade one until Scarlet Keys.
that's true.
So, but this has become such a um, what do you call it? A card that goes in like if you're playing 2 or more players, you're probably putting this in your seeker deck.
Hmm.
Staple. That's what I'm
Hmm.
looking for.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Like, this
yeah.
is the sort of card where you need to have a reason not to have it in your seeker deck rather than to
Mm,
put it in, you know?
yep.
So, cool to see that that's sticking around.
Hmm.
Moving on from there, another oldie but goodie. I think we're to Justin now. You got deduction.
Yeah, deduction, skill, intellect icon, practiced. If this skill test is successful while investigating a location, discover 1 additional clue at that location. And the flavor text is different. I checked. A smaller piece of an even greater mystery.
My first
And for
question.
those keeping score at home, it is the revised core art, not the
Mm,
OG art.
It's the Daisy art, yeah. Which is funny
mhm.
because Daisy's not in this set. So the OG core did not have Daisy on deduction. Then the revised core did, and now this core doesn't have Daisy, but it has Daisy on deduction. So, we're all over the place.
Sweet.
That,
My
Yep.
question to
that
you
seems
guys.
like a smaller piece of an even greater mystery.
Okay, my question though. What would you investigate other than a location? Because this card goes out of its way to say while you're investigating a location, discover an additional clue.
Um, I could see a treachery that attaches to a location or something that says action investigate. If you succeed, something like if it's an ability or like on
Sure.
an enemy or something like that.
But you're still investigating the location using the shroud that's attached to, right? Like as far as the game mechanic is
Yeah, but
concerned.
I don't know if you'd be investigating the location. You're because maybe we'll have an enemy that you need to investigate,
Oh,
something like that.
that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
And I might just be pulling keywords from nowhere, but something like you are considered to be at no location or something. Like if
Yeah,
there's some, like janky Mythos stuff and it's investigator is not considered to be at any location.
yeah.
Okay, I think your question
Wow.
very much stands in that we're having to think up edge cases,
Well, I
and
mean,
it does seem a little bit of like just copying over as is, which is interesting when they're taking such pains to revise so much else.
Mm.
yeah.
Um,
Because does
JP?
OG deduction? Because it's worded differently than OG deduction, right? It's not like they just copy pasted and forgot that wording kind of sticks out now.
No. While investigating a location.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that is the case that they just ported it over
You're
then.
just being a hypercritical ninny nanny.
That's
So
right. That's right.
you go.
And Ninny
Yeah.
Muggins.
JP brings out we might see story asset characters that that can be investigated, right? Like investigating the character.
Interesting.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
it's probably nothing, but I was just curious because I'm like, wow, there's 4 words in there that like are just assumed. You're just always
Mhm.
investigating a location, so it's interesting to call it out. And maybe that's just old game text that didn't get changed.
Yeah.
That'd be a very, very simple way to explain it.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, the classic Joe card. We've got
Mhm.
Working a Hunch, as it ever was. 2-cost seeker event. Double intellect icons, insight traded, fast play only during your turn. Discover 1 clue at your location.
And
I
it
love
has
it.
the seeker icon in the top right,
That's right.
so
That's
you
right.
know what class it is. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Put this right in his hunch deck. Oh wait. Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah. It'd be really. Oh no, you couldn't do that. Never mind. I was gonna say it'd be really funny to do like transfiguration of one investigator to their new version, just so you can have Joe with the hunch deck with the new. But no, he can't take seeker card, or he can't take mystic cards. So
Yeah.
that's a non-bow.
Dang.
But yeah.
All
So
right.
Working a Hunch classic. Here it is.
Mhm. Yep.
Get a clue.
Another good core card. Yep.
And let's
And great
round out.
icons.
Let's round out the Joe discussion with his weakness. Scott, I think we're back to you.
Yeah. Dead ends. It's a 5-cost event weakness. Blunder traded. Forced. When you search your deck and dead ends is among the search cards, draw it. Cancel the effects of the search and shuffle your deck. Forced. When the game ends or you are eliminated, if this card is in your hand, you earn 2 fewer experience. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting because we haven't seen any search cards yet.
Yeah.
But I guess I mean it's just that is something that seekers do, and so I
Mm-hmm.
guess it's kind of future proofing it there to make it so you can't avoid it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, just pay 5 and you can play it out.
There's also one of those interesting things where he's got access to, in Legacy anyway, he's got access to the librarian, the research librarian. So that's a whole deck search. You just
Yeah,
go grab this at any point you want if you're running
yep,
that ally and just not have to worry about it, play it down and get rid of it when you want. Or if you're like playing Dunwich or, wait, hang on. Which, that's the deck hate one. Which one is the hand hate one? Is it just Return to Night of the Zealot? Anyway, you'd keep it in your hand and
mm,
hope that some random encounter deck thing swipes it. Oh wait, no, it can't. You can't
it was
take a
Circle
weakness from
Undone,
your
wasn't it?
hand. Maybe. Am I remembering correctly that you can't discard? You can't choose to discard a weakness from your hand, but random encounter effects can grab it.
Correct.
Okay, unless it's hidden or something.
Yeah, hidden has a different thing because that's not a weakness; that's a treachery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I don't know. Interesting. Seems
yeah,
fine. I mean,
sure.
it's
Yeah,
it's it's better. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. It's better in the core set than Roland's weakness was. What's that one?
oh, cover up.
Cover up.
Yes.
It's better in the core than cover up because Roland got hit hard because he's normally your lead investigator for everyone's first spin up of Night of the Zealot. Normally he's taken trauma just as a part of the story, and then his weakness, which is kind of weird and time sensitive, can also deal him trauma.
Mm.
Roland's fine and he's good and you know whatever he'll get through it. But like I do feel like this is a little bit gentler and less specifically mean to have as a core
Mhm.
set weakness for Joe.
Oh, you know what's a big thing about this one too? Because I asked Nick about this. So in chapter one, you wouldn't be able to play this card because it doesn't change the game state. Because all like so playing a card, like paying for a card and then the card moving from your hand to the discard pile is not considered changing the game state because it didn't do anything to the game. Do you
I
know what I mean?
lost 5
Besides that,
resources and a card from my hand, but okay.
but like you played a card that did nothing
Sure.
besides playing the card.
Yeah.
They've revised that rule,
Good.
where and I think this
Good.
was on a stream or something, we were chatting with him, or he was in the chat, but he said they've changed the rule where this is fine now. So it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be because I forget whose weakness was it Preston's, where it's like you had to remove the card from the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the action, like you pay 10, it was like remove this card from the game. That changed the game state because it removed the card. So now you can just have this. So
That's so
which I
funny.
like.
I mean, like, and it
It makes
makes
it
more sense
cleaner.
from an intuitive perspective too, because like I'm sure there was some weird rules reason why all of those things you just said were true, but it is a little weird to draw the line at well, spending resources and playing a card from your hand to no effect doesn't change the game state, but removing that same card from the game does. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, it's better going forward, so we're thankful for that.
I think it came from a ruling where someone asked, could I play this event card? Like it was a player card
Hmm.
if nothing would happen just because I wanted to get it out of my hand or trigger something else. And the
Sure.
ruling came that no, doing something in the playing a card must change the game state in some way. And that's where that came from. So
Best of
yeah.
intentions, I'm sure.
Anyways. Yeah, yeah. That's really deep in the rules language, which again for a core set, the fact that this is seems quite it plays the way it should.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
intuitive.
It's way
Oh,
more intuitive.
I pay I pay 5 to get this out of my hand, and that's cool. Okay,
Mhm. Yep.
good.
That'd be a real fun thing to walk new players into. It's just like, nah, you didn't say
ah,
the magic words.
um, actually,
I mean, you know, it's Arkham, so that's probably still going to happen in certain places, but
100%.
at least we'll walk out of the ones that we can see coming. All right,
100%.
well, that's Joe. Let's move on then to one Isabella or Izzy, if you prefer. Miss Izzy, if you're nasty.
Do we fight her?
Yeah, we finally got her, guys. We
Oh
got
my
Isabella.
goodness.
My sister's sacrifice won't be in vain. I know I mentioned this on the last stream, but that was such a moment for me because I was just reading through everything and I was like, "Oh, Isabelle Barnes, cool." Blah 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 blah, and I just moved on and I did not clock it for a solid day or two after I saw the name of the investigator. And I'm like, "Wait, Isabella Barnes."
Yeah.
Anyway.
And JP points out in the first paragraph it says armed with her lost sister's twin 45s. So now Jenny is lost. Oh,
I'll look
these
forward to the
two.
standalone where we can find her. Yeah, I know these two are just like so
These two
star-crossed.
rapscallions, hey?
Well, I think
Ships.
somebody mentioned I have not read it to confirm. I have it. I still just need to actually read it. That the story beat may have happened in that limited run comic they did this last year.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need to get my hands on that stuff.
Yeah.
It's
So
a,
if I find out for or can confirm that for sure, I will let you know. But that would be
Mm.
neat if true.
it's a
Well, joke's
personal
on
goal
them.
of
I
mine.
can't read. So
You say that, Scott. It's a personal goal of mine for 2026. I used to be a very avid reader, and like slowly and slowly in the age of smartphones and ADHD, uh, it just like chipped away at my ability to either want to or just actually sit and read stuff. But I'm reclaiming it in 2026. It's gonna happen, and yeah, let's. I don't know. I feel like doing some of the Arkham stuff would be a good way to do it because then we can make it content and talk about it.
mhm.
We just got to
Do
finally
it.
get Arkham Book Club together.
That's right.
Yeah,
We've only been
that works
talking
so
about
well.
that for 8 years.
That's so worked so well the first time. So one thing that just jumped into my head is remember how they announced these like cards that you had to earn, like achievement cards?
Mm-hmm.
What if we get a Jenny ally
Reward, yeah.
reward and it's like you need to be playing Isabelle Barnes. You need to go through this campaign and hit these certain achievements, and then you get the Jenny ally.
I'd be into
That
that.
would be so sweet.
I'd be into that. I feel like if
Yeah.
they're gonna do that, we gotta wait a little bit first. Like that's gonna be
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
campaign
yeah.
4 or 5 down the road where they
Yeah.
finally pay that off. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be super into that. I would love to see some investigators from. Well, see, here I'm of two minds on this because all the Arkham characters are really cool, and I'd love to see them just come back and be investigators. But at the same
Mhm.
time, they are going to be adding new characters, so not every old character will come back in the same way. I'd love to see old investigators come back as allies and kind of like do similar things that they did. Like if we could get like an Agnes ally that has like 3 or 4 sanity and deals a damage out when it takes a horror, like I'd
Mhm.
be a happy camper for shit like that.
Reverse guard dog, but Agnes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially
Um,
if you can pair Agnes with a Peter investigator.
that's
Oh
Peter
yes, there we go.
Sylvester as an investigator would be pretty rad. I would sign up for that. Then
Yeah.
everyone gets to be Peter's boyfriend
Well,
or
in what's the
girlfriend
Star Wars card game that
or
you guys
enemy
play?
friend.
The
Unlimited?
the yes. You have leaders who are
Hmm.
characters, and then you also have you
Yep.
have Luke as a leader. You can have Luke as a character, right? So
Yep.
that idea is not outside the FFG wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. All right. Anyway, Isabella. Scott.
hmm.
She's red.
Yeah, she is. She is Isabella the Returned. 4 willpower, 2 intellect, 3 combat, 3 agility. Chosen hunter treated. Squiggly boy, during a skill test you are performing, take 1 direct horror. Commit an eligible skill from your discard pile to this test. After this test resolves, shuffle that card into your deck. Limit once per round. Her Elder Sign ability or effect is +1. If you succeed, heal 1 horror. My sister's sacrifice won't be in vain. Wait, is her sister dead or just lost? I don't know. Anyways,
I bet it's one of those
5
situations
health.
where she like died off screen and is assumed to
Mm,
have died, but like
is she like a Spartan, like from Halo? Like the Spartans never die; they're just always MIA. Oh, anyways, 5 health, 9 sanity. Sorry, a little bit of Halo lore for you there.
And see, I'm
They
just
never.
I think that it works better because otherwise you get the other end of the spectrum where it's like the crappy Star Wars writing, and I hate to say crappy Star Wars writing, but it's
I
like
mean, there
it
is.
somehow
exists.
Isabelle returned.
Oh God, let's just let's just not talk about that. I love this ability. This is
Yes.
exactly what I want from a survivor
Yes.
investigator. This is
Yes.
jank. Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
Ian dropped it on me. I didn't obviously corroborated by this article, but I didn't realize it when we were talking about her briefly last time we streamed. Her off class is going to be Mystic, and suddenly
Yes.
that 4 willpower and the ability to recur skills and Mystic cards, like
Mm-hmm.
shovel it directly into my mouth, please.
What's the skill that has a willpower icon on it and you heal a horror or
Fearless.
2 if you succeed? Fearless, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, look at
It's
this. It's a combo.
Even upgraded fear it is a combo, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Upgraded
yeah.
fearless is level 2, I think. So assuming that
There
we
you go.
are across the board doing main class 5 off class 2, she could grab that one in legacy too, which that's a net positive healing instead of just keeping it rolling.
Hmm.
Like so cool. Limit once per round. I get it, but that is a little bit of a bummer. It'd be really
Yeah,
cool to go ham on a single turn, but
that's another
um
thing I'm seeing here too is limit once per round, not limit once per turn on
mhm.
a bunch of these cards. Because in 4 player you could do stuff where it's like you do it once per turn. So like in each player's turn you can do stuff.
True.
Um, on old legacy cards, but
Yeah.
I get why they're doing
You'd
once
have
per
to
round.
find a way to do a test yourself during someone else's turn, but there are ways.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, like for other things. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, really cool. And the stat that she's going to be utilizing to use her ability is a 9 sanity, so that's super solid. Is this
Hmm.
and I haven't done the legwork to check on this, but is this the first survivor with 5 printed health? I feel like one of Survivor's class identities has always been that they're generally the hardier ones, but I'm trying to think of a
Um,
survivor that didn't have at least 6 health.
I think isn't Ashcan 5, but technically
No,
because
Ashcan's a
he
six
has
five.
is he 6'5"? He is.
Mm-hmm.
What about who's oh God, what's his name? Nate, the farmer who tanks stuff.
He's a 6'6". No, wait, he's a 5'5" on his non-flipped side. Yeah, okay, but he's weird. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna count him.
He-
Get out of
We're
here
talking about
with your.
talking about survivor investigators, like, oh, but he's weird. They're all weird, Sean.
Yeah, okay, fair, fine. Point
That's
conceded.
yeah. The class identity is weird.
Of all the survivors who don't have a second identity card, she's the only one with printed 5.
So specific.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's just something to watch. And you know how we were talking about, I just want to bring this up now since it's a little bit out of order. Remember how we were talking about them being less mean with the survivor, or sorry, the investigator weaknesses?
Mhm.
Scott, you want to read Breaking Point? I know we're kind of skipping order here, but I want to talk about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Breaking point weakness. It's a treachery. Hardship traded. Revelation. Take 1 direct damage. Then, if you have 6 or fewer remaining sanity, take 1 direct damage. Then, if you have 3 or fewer remaining sanity, take 1 direct damage.
This is brutal for a weakness, isn't it?
Yep.
Absolutely
That is.
brutal for a investigator with 5 printed health. And it'd be
Yep.
one thing if each of these were just take a damage. That would be one thing. But the fact that it is all direct damage, like, this is a brutal weakness. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness.
Now, I will throw out there though. Like, and we'll get to this, but like looking through, like they already gave her tools to deal with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the cards in the box allow you to deal with this, but you are right. Like this is like Mark Harrigan's weakness, where you can just get absolutely blown out mid game because you were just like 1 or 2 damage over, 1 sanity over. You're just like you weren't quite cautious enough, and then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
oh, game over.
Yeah, I think Shell
So
Shock is probably the
yeah.
best comparison for sure, where it's like, all right, this is the investigator who wants to have damage on them or will have damage on them if you're using their ability. Haha, fuck you though. Don't do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't do it though.
LOL GG.
Or or what's the thrice damn curiosity? There's a
Yes.
collection of weaknesses where you have to like hide your power level as an investigator until they've cleared,
Mhm.
and then you can go back to like actually playing as you want. But yeah.
Well, this one actually, Sean, you will appreciate this, and Scott, you can tune out while I talk about Keyforge. Um, I know it's a different game, but this made me think of back in the first set of Keyforge, bait and switch, the one where you
Oh,
would play
sure.
it and you would get to take. It was take
You'd get
one. If
to
your opponent has more than you, take one. And they had to reword it because it warped the meta so bad.
yeah.
It basically broke the whole game. And so this seems like again, it's apples and oranges with Keyforge,
Yeah.
but it's a similar thing
Yeah.
where it's just going to keep going and
Where
going
it's like
and
a
going. And
looping effect that could get out of hand. So yes.
yeah, but very similar thing is you had to be careful in that you couldn't just like go ham and then all of a sudden, oh crap, I was all set up and then my opponent just fizzled what I did. Same thing here, except instead of an opponent, it's the game. It's just that
Mhm.
the second I read this, that just popped to mind for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Luckily, this didn't say repeat this effect if you have 3 or fewer remaining sanity, or like however that was worded to become problematic. But
You know. And
um,
chat's all over too that the way it's written, I mean, bandages, if you have bandages out, it stops all 3 of this damage because
sure.
it's take a damage, then take a damage. It's 3 incidences of single damage,
Mm-hmm.
and the art has her bandaging herself, and bandages are in the core in her deck.
It was right there all along.
Yeah. Oh! Oh, yeah. And even the ally, he's bandaging himself, and he's the guy heal so,
So Survivor's new class identity is bandages,
bandages.
is what we're
Yes,
seeing here. Yeah. Where's that hot
various
hot heat song
bandaging.
when we need it?
Bandages, bandages. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, here, well, let's talk bandages real quick. It seems unchanged from chapter 1.
I
A
mean, the
level
amount
0 asset, 2 cost agility item, uses 3 supplies. If there are no supplies, discard it. Reaction after an investigator or ally at your location takes 1 or more damage, spend a supply, heal 1 damage from that card. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, the amount that I played bandages in Legacy is not a lot.
Oh, really? I
But
love bandages and
yeah.
guard dog decks.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
The
definitely in chapter 1. It's a little bit more corner case because there's healing in chapter 1 is something we should do just a whole ass podcast on at some point because it's an
yeah,
interesting thing to talk through the value proposition of healing in chapter 1.
yeah. Because a lot of the times, like, unless you were going to die, it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. But
I feel like there
in
may even be an old article out there, or maybe Scott, you did a maybe this is when you were doing collaboration with some other creator. Again, this is how old it was.
Hmm.
I thought we maybe somehow covered like healing versus soak versus, but again,
Yeah.
it just kind of became what you do or don't do. So agree with that, Sean. I think it'd be good to kind of go over it again, especially as we see more and more of these chapter 2 cards.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we've been talking about horror versus or healing versus soak versus and how it hurts your tempo since the game started. So I'm
Hmm.
quite sure this is probably at least the 12th time where we've said, "Oh, we should talk about that in more depth."
I do remember us talking though, Justin. Now that you bring it up, like soak versus healing, there was something. But yeah, we can totally talk again. I was going to bring up bandages. Weirdly, has a slight change in wording. The
Mm,
new one is if there are no supplies on bandages, discard it. The old one is if bandages has no supplies, discard it. So
interesting.
probably just a language clear up, and yeah,
Yeah.
something to note. But
But I mean, as pointed out, it is like you throw that down, and then suddenly, no matter where your sanity's at, Izzy's weakness doesn't matter.
mhm.
You have your buffer, so that's pretty solid. And then talking about Alexei Saburov, which I believe I clock as a pathologic reference. I see you, Duke. I think. Uh, he is zero cost. Sorry, zero level 0 3 cost ally. Um, willpower ally traded. When your turn begins, heal 1 damage or horror from Alexei Saburov, 2 health, 2 sanity ally slot. So he's kind of a more flexible Peter Sylvester without the stat boost because he
Yeah.
could heal whatever. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't know that again, kind of getting to hardiness being one of Survivor's defining traits. This is a very solid level 0 ally.
Hmm.
Just keeps
I
you
could see
alive.
also an upgraded version, like a level 2 or something, where he goes to 3 and 3. At the beginning of the turn, you heal one and one from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
so.
that'd be a very cool upgrade, and maybe like
Yeah.
a willpower boost. I don't know, help a
Maybe,
mystic out,
maybe, yeah. Yeah.
help help an Izzy out. Um, but yeah, that's a really cool ally. What do we got up next? Jumpsuit. Scott, I think we're back around to you.
Oh boy, jumpsuit. Uh, yeah, jumpsuit. It is a one cost asset. Has a combat icon, item, and clothing. God, that is creepy art. Squiggly boy. During your turn, discard jumpsuit. Choose a tool or weapon asset in your discard pile and add it to your hand. You keep finding these things you shouldn't. You thought you'd lost in those deep pockets. 2 health, null sanity takes up the body slot. So you take 1 damage on it, and then if you are using a bunch of tools and weapons, you go grab something. Yeah.
That was very solid recursion. Like
Yep.
if this was just an asset that said during your
Hmm.
turn discard this, takes up the body slot, add it back to your hand, that would still be very usable. The fact that it can
Hmm.
also soak a damage is just great.
Yeah. It seems very versatile where you put it down, like you don't have to keep it in your hand while you're using the tool or the weapon that you want to get back, and then you can then maybe soak a damage, or if it's near the end of the game and you're just like, I just need to stay alive. There's
Yeah.
2 soak.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And as mentioned, Izzy, with her
Mhm.
paltry 5 printed health, might be in
Yes.
such a situation. So
Yeah.
there we go.
All
Um,
right.
then we've got
So
hey, another oldie but goodie, meat cleaver. Right? Did I miss one?
I'm all out of order, so
Yeah, I'm all out of order
We
too. I'm sorry.
we
I
haven't
did
talked
this
about
to
Meat
us.
Cleaver yet,
Yeah,
so
let's do meat cleaver. Justin.
I can run with that one. Yeah. 3 cost, level 0, asset, uh, will icon, item, weapon, melee, action, fight with combat. You get +1 combat for this attack, +2 combat instead if you have 3 or fewer remaining sanity. If this attack defeats an enemy, you may heal 1 horror. Reaction, when you trigger the above action ability, take 1 horror. This attack deals +1 damage. Takes up a single hand slot.
Mechanically
sweet.
unchanged.
Hmm.
We know it. We love it. It's better in
Yep.
some builds than others, but in Izzy in particular, I think this is pretty good. It's a way to heal horror to feed her ability, and she's got decent regular combat stats. So,
I yeah, okay.
like, it's
I
not her
I'm
best option, but it's
yeah,
if you're looking at core only, this is probably one she's going to use a lot.
yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I realized we breezed right over reading her signature
Yeah.
card.
I sorry, I blew us right past a bunch of stuff. So let's go back and you want to do the 45, Scott?
Yeah, it's Isabelle's twin 45s loaded with vengeance. Oh, that's such a cool tagline. 4 cost asset, combat icon, agility icon, wild icon. Item, weapon, firearm traded. Isabella Barnes deck only, uses 6 ammo. That's really efficient actually for that cost. Does take up 2 hand slots though. Anyways, action, spend an ammo, fight. You get +1 combat and deal +1 damage for this attack. And reaction, after you resolve the above ability, spend 1 ammo and exhaust the 45s. Fight with agility. You get +1 agility and deal +1 damage for this attack.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna call this out right now. I may be right. I may be wrong. I clock this as a Nick special. This smells very Nick
Okay.
because it's a
Well,
little bit D&D, and I know he's had feelings about how firearms work. But anyway, yeah, the whole like dual wielding double shot depending on your agility rather than your combat is a very interesting pull.
mm,
So,
yeah, I like them.
do you feel like this is her best option? Probably.
Uh, yeah. I mean, yeah, like the fact that each turn, like you get a free combat that doesn't use ammo out of this thing, that gives you a +1 and deals the +1 damage. Like that +1
It does
damage
use
is what
ammo.
I'm looking for.
It does use ammo. It
Oh
doesn't
my
cost an
goodness!
action, so you still have to spend the
Apparently,
bullet, but you get a free action.
reading the card explains the card. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, never mind. I guess it's action efficiency.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm
I
not
mean,
blown
hell,
away,
I'd
but
almost always I'd rather spend the ammo than an extra action.
Yeah,
yes,
because if you assume you're going to do it each time, I mean, yes, this has 6 ammo. Treat it as though it has 3 ammo. It's still pretty good.
3 ammo, and you're dealing potentially you're doling out 4 damage with
4.
every shot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you just have the option of maybe you sometimes just need the ping and other things.
Yeah, and it's also interesting too because now you're spreading your stat investment over 2 different stats too, which is going to make it a little less consistent, and possibly a little shakier. But on top of that, now we have to consider that Izzy has the ability to just go fish a skill out of her discard, and
Mhm.
she's probably going to be running overpower and manual dexterity. So yeah, it seems
Yeah.
pretty good. Seems
Yep.
pretty good.
I do also super love the role playing element to this, Sean. I don't know that I would go quite as far as you to put, like, to say it was a Nick special, but boy, does it fit because you're using combat to start. And then in my mind, and then you've got the kick from the one gun. And so you have
Mm-hmm.
to use the agility to balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
And oh,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
good. But I'm a sucker for theme and all that.
yeah. Well, and dual wielding mechanics in D&D have changed a fair few times, but this is essentially the gist of many of them, is that the idea is that you can dual wield, but you're going to be less accurate while you're doing so. So, um, yeah, we're gonna do it at some point, but like, how would Mythos Busters make Arkham Second Edition? One of the first things I would do is I would turn most guns into an agility test, and
Hmm.
make that a little bit more to draw a delineation between melee and ranged weapons more so. And obviously you'd have to change so much more about the game beyond that with that change.
Yeah.
But that would be number one. But anyway,
Oof.
that's for another day.
Yeah,
You just broke Scott in the back.
I have opinions.
I heard that oof. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, there you go. That's for a later episode.
Yeah.
Let's clean up the ones I skipped over. Let's do slippery.
Slippery's a skill. Sorry, I was
No,
gonna
go ahead.
jump in. Oh, yeah. Agility icon. Sorry, I'm just gonna start over. Slippery, level 0 skill. Agility icon, practice traded. If this skill test is successful while evading a non-elite enemy, that enemy does not ready during the next upkeep phase. I like this.
Well, also on my list of Arkham 2nd Edition is there would be a keyword for that. Because that is on so
stunned?
many because you've got the different levels, right? Like when you're investigating, you get an extra clue. When you're fighting, you get an extra damage. Normally for evading, there's nothing extra you can do aside from like maybe hit another enemy at your location is a common one, or the very common thing is this, where that enemy doesn't get to ready. They're mega evaded. They're out for 2 turns. I would have a keyword for that.
The only thing I'm thinking is if the game readies the enemy before the next upkeep phase, right? Like if it was a keyword,
Sure.
like stun or something,
Yeah.
would it? Yeah.
You know what? Just because you said stun, and I'm both a champions player and I'm a Keyforge player, I would just make a token and stun that enemy. It's a stun token. The next time they would ready, the token goes away instead. Clean.
And that's way more professional than what I was thinking, because I was like, what would you even do? Sleepy time?
Well, Sean, you'll hate to hear that Magic already has stun tokens, and they do exactly what this does. So sorry.
I'm unsurprised. Yeah. I'm unsurprised by that information. That is very similar to most information I learn about Magic.
But
Magic is the Simpsons of the card game world. Magic
really
did it.
Yes. I was gonna bring that up because Magic also had a thing where it's like you would tap that creature and it doesn't untap during the next opponent's upkeep phase, like when it would normally untap, and then they've now gone to stun tokens. So they've literally done exactly what we're talking about.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
All right,
Chapter 3, here we come.
All right, back. Let's get out of the clouds of the hypothetical and back to what this card actually is.
Well, and before we move on, this one's been bugging me, and I got to get this part out of my brain. The art. I love the art. To be clear, this is not I have a problem with the art. This art confused me, though, when I looked at it the first time, because it's just the positioning. Maybe it's because I play Bloodborne. Who knows? I did not initially read this as someone going away on a cable car. They had dropped their prosthetic leg, and there are the straps for their prosthetic leg flipping in the wind. I viewed this in the opposite direction of the police officer chasing the woman holding a leg that tentacles were coming out of, because the straps look like tentacles to me.
That's a standard issue tentacle boot. Yeah, you get that at the Arkham Academy.
Yeah, and so I was like, what is the purpose of the... okay, I see. But now I keep going back and forth between seeing the two. So
well, and
this
even
is just
beyond
tentacle
that,
boot to me is the name of it.
Well, on the meta level, Justin, there's an even greater story happening here, because I'm fairly certain this is Lucky Lady, right? Because if you remember OG Lucky art, it is tentacles grabbing a boot off of a person, and the luckiness is that you got away. This is probably Lucky Lady. I don't know, maybe in the fiasco that befell Arkham during the Drowned City, she had an accident, lost a leg, got pinned beneath something. Now she's got a prosthesis, and now her boot is always fleeing from her corporeal person.
Yeah, maybe she wasn't so lucky at some point.
Now she's just slippery.
Yeah. Huh. That's a yeah.
So,
that's my headcanon now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just so funny. It's either an homage or it is an overt, like, all right, this is the same chick. She's just always losing her boots. She's Arkham Cinderella over here. All right, and then so anyway, we had like talking about Slippery the card. let's round back to that.
Right, yeah.
Seems good. Like, you know,
I like it.
Yeah, again, Survivor lasting longer and evading things. This is a really good counterpart to like a deduction or vicious blow. Very solid.
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
not the biggest fan of it not working on non-elite, but that's just the way the wind's blowing now. So
You know what? It's a level 0.
yeah,
That's you get
and
what you get and you don't get upset
that
kind
would
of
be
thing.
fine. But I have thoughts, even stretching back into chapter 1, how hard the devs are protecting their precious little elite enemies. But anyway,
Mhm.
that's for another time.
Yeah.
Timely intervention is a level 0 skill. It has a willpower, agility, and a wild icon. So 1 to anything, 2 to agility or willpower. Fortune traded, max 1 committed per skill test. You may commit timely intervention from your hand after revealing chaos tokens during a skill test you are performing. So my first thought when I
Mm.
saw this is kind of Lucky Light. This is
Mhm.
kind of like new Lucky, right?
Mhm.
It's pretty much exactly lucky if you're talking willpower or agility. It's diet lucky if you're doing anything else. It doesn't cost a resource, which is nice. Not blocked by dissonant voices, which is nice.
Mhm.
Um, and it's kind of cool, but it serves largely the same function as lucky. Like, oh, I'm holding back on this test, or oh, I thought I was gonna pass this test. I'm 1 down now. Suddenly, pop this in. Robert's your father's brother.
Yeah, and you could combine this with lucky to get
True.
+4 on a willpower or +3 on combat or something.
True.
So, like if
The
you have both
certainty
lucky
around
and
this is
this, yeah.
no, sorry, Scott. The
Yeah.
certainty around this is just so cool to me. I mean, that's
Mhm.
anytime that we get to do stuff with any level of certainty. I love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
The one downside to this is that Izzy's ability won't get to use that after the fact part
Yeah.
uh, if you pull it from your discard pile, because it specifically says from your hand. I mean, that said, it's still a +1 to anything and a +2 to the 2 stats, so she might still pull this out in the regular timing.
Yeah. And the thing is too, she can pull it back out, and then once that test is done, this shuffles back in the deck.
There you go.
So then she
That's
can
the
draw it
play.
again, and then yeah. So you can recycle this one a lot, and yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Moving on, then I think our next one is Hunter's Instinct. Yeah. This one's
Hmm.
exciting. I like this one. It's got a Justin, I think,
I
what
think
are
it's
you?
over. I think it's. I'll just grab it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hunter's Instinct, 2 cost, level 0 asset, combat and agility icon. Just insanely badass art on the way down
Mhm.
to it is talent traded, limit 1 per investigator. Uses 3 supplies. If there are no supplies on Hunter's Instinct, discard it. Reaction after you engage an enemy, spend 1 supply and exhaust Hunter's Instinct. Add a level 0 event in your discard pile to your hand.
I love this card.
That's really
I
good
love this
recursion.
card so much.
For those who are
Yeah, I
not
mean,
watching and are just listening to us, Scott is rocking back and forth merrily as he is saying he likes this card.
As you do.
I mean, here's the thing: you engage with an enemy, and then you grab timely intervention back from your discard pile into your hand, and then you can use it as a lucky again. And oh my god, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's an event only, Scott. Oh, so sorry.
Oh
Nope.
god,
Level
never mind.
0 event. But
I
that's
read.
fine because Izzy can recur skills anyway. Now she has a way to recur events. Like she's just got
She
it
can grab
all.
lucky. You can
There it
grab
is.
lucky. There you
There it
go.
is.
Got there. Yep. I'm just so honed in on skills now. I read it as level 0 skill.
Well, and this is so good at level 0 too because this doesn't specify
Mhm.
class.
Nope.
And there are a fair few very good level 0 events that you might want to grab. So,
You know, the one that immediately jumps to mind, because I was going to mention this about Slippery too, is it's practice traded. And if you're
oh,
playing
practice makes
Legacy, is
perfect.
practice makes perfect,
Little
right?
PMP
And
action.
yeah, being able to recur practice makes perfect, and those practice skills, like, oh my
It's very
goodness.
very good.
It's too bad that Izzy doesn't have access to uh Seeker,
Mm-hmm.
because practice make
Ooh,
perfect. But
man, in Legacy, Min with practice makes perfect, and this card, like, ooh,
oh
just
yeah.
keep it going for days. Super
Mm-hmm.
solid, super solid. Loving it. Moving on from there, we've got Shove Off. Scott, you want to read Shove Off?
Yeah. One cost event, level 0, combat and agility or icons. Tactic traded, Evade using agility. If you succeed, deal 1 damage to the evaded enemy. If you fail, return shove off to your hand at the end of your turn. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're paying 1 to evade, but you can
With a
ping
damage.
them. But if you fail, you can come. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I think 1 cost to ride a damage on an evade attempt you were already going to do. That seems pretty solid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the if
And
you
if you
fail
to get it
piece
back.
is just nice because the tentacle will ruin your day.
Yeah. I could see this more in a evadey investigator. Like this is not screaming Izzy card to me.
Yeah, true.
But sure, yeah.
Yeah, seems good.
This is a core set card, is what this is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Giving options. An oldie but a goodie. Look what I found. So well, let's hear. Is it pretty much the same? It looks like it is. So 2 costs, double intellect icons, fortune traded, fast play after you fail a skill test by 2 or less while investigating. Discover 2 clues at your location.
Oh, they added flavor text. Oh, would you look at that? Just look at it.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
I've never understood what is it that was in that tree that they crashed into.
I feel like there's a statue.
I mean, or is it like a desiccated corpse or something that might revive?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was a statue inside the tree, and the tree got split open.
Yeah.
Yeah, an Eldritch statue. Thank you, JP.
Eldritch. Yeah. Okay, that explains it. Sorry. Thank you. You love crafted it for me. That's
it
all
looks
we
like
needed.
this. That's what I imagine. Like that's what the statue's doing. So.
Yeah. Anyway, look what I found.
I had never
obviously,
gotten that far into the art. I thought it was just being a cheeky, like, look what I found, a tree in the middle of the road.
I found it with my car.
There's something in there. Classic Survivor card will get played. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Level-headed, Scott.
Yeah, level-headed is a 2 cost asset, level 0, willpower and agility traded, icons, talent traded. Squiggly boy, spend 1 resource, you get +1 willpower for the skill, +2 if this test is on a scenario card. And another squiggly boy, you spend a resource, you get +1 agility for this skill test, +2 agility if this test is on a scenario card. I don't like this as much as the one we saw before. The Seeker one.
Sure. I mean, it's more conditional. But I mean, a test on a scenario card is pretty broad. Like this is treacheries. This is, tests on locations or acts or agendas.
Mm-hmm.
If a scenario card has a parlay test, this applies there too.
Yeah. This would not count for just a basic evade though, right? Because we are not doing a test on it. Yeah. So,
not the bonus. You still get the +1, but not the +2.
Right. And JP points out it's more like a Mythos protection card. If I'm coming at that from that point of view, yeah. Yeah, and I guess I know for sure that there are campaigns where I've been like, man, it's all just like willpower and agility tests on the scenario cards. And
if you've been playing Hemlock and or the Drowned City and you're like me and you tend to play low agility investigators, yes, you've said that a lot. It's like, it's all agility. Why is it all agility? Yep. Stop playing low agility investigators, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the TCU hexes. That's a good call out. Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is not as good as what was the one we just talked about, the Seeker one. The Seeker one that we just talked about.
Sharp Wit or something?
Yeah, Sharp Rhetoric.
It was Sharp Rhetoric.
Yeah, so this is not as good as Sharp Rhetoric, I would agree, but I do think this is better than what's the old core one? Because it's the same stats as the old core one.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know the name.
Dig Deep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's better than Dig Deep. I mean, it's objectively better than Dig Deep because it is Dig Deep with extra text. So
I think I can confidently say I have never played Dig Deep. And if I had, it was a mistake.
It was a proxy for another card that I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know, time will tell. Time will tell. And as with all of these cards, the biggest factor is how good is your resource engine, because these all look nice
Mhm,
like in a vacuum, but when you get them on the
mhm.
board and you're still paying for events and you're still trying to play down other assets, like the number of resources, like it could just get so tight. And spending for stats tends to not even be a choice you get to make.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what other skills show up and if there's any like money making skills for her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's already well, I don't even know if there's going to be if they're going to include the four or the five what do you call them, the neutral skills
Oh,
from
sure.
the core set.
We've seen a few of them
Because
previewed. I think it's safe to
oh,
say
okay,
that they're in there.
okay, because even recurring those, which draws you a card, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like in Izzy, like you got that.
Draws you a card
Um,
and puts another card back into your deck that's not your shitty ass weakness. Like,
yeah, right? Like after you've got your weakness through,
yeah.
like imagine you draw that on turn two and you're like, great. I'm never gonna shuffle my deck.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You just meter it out and keep your card draw on lock. And yeah, I'm very excited because, like, I'm excited just looking at what we looked at. And then you tack on the fact that Isabella can take Mystic cards, some of which
Hmm.
we've seen and look really good, and so many we haven't even seen yet. Like, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited.
Yep.
All right, boys. Now I know Daniela's also been previewed, but I know we're running up against time for us here. So we'll bump Daniela to the next time we do this. Maybe we'll be able to knock out all three of the remaining ones next time we stream. But yeah, that's chapter 2 previews. That's exciting stuff.
I am so excited. I'm actually really excited about what's his name? Joe Diamond.
Joe, yeah, yeah.
I think. Yeah. Like he's gonna be I think he's gonna be a front runner for he's for sure gonna be a front runner for solo. True solo out of the core. And yeah, like I'm already thinking of decks of like how I can use his efficiency of just drawing cards, right? Like
Just drawing
it's a
cards.
meat and potatoes deck. So,
Because like every card slot you free up that would have otherwise gone toward card draw is now money. Like,
mhm,
because like in most decks you want to have something, you want to have some kind of acceleration or advantage.
mhm,
Arkham's better. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is a broader discussion, but I do feel in Arkham I feel less a necessary pull to add a ton of card draw to my deck than I do in other card games, because Arkham feeds you, and at any point that you are desperate you can click for cards. It never feels good, but you have the option.
mhm,
But just that set it and forget it, it's on my investigator and I'm going to be investigating anyway, it's just going to happen card draw is very, very solid.
mhm. I think a key point there is I agree with you. Like it's like, oh, I can always just click for a card, right? I can just use an action and it doesn't feel well. I think n- ignoring card draw completely because of that is probably a
Yeah.
mistake because sometimes you do want that burst of cards, right?
Yeah.
You want to one action draw three cards or something like that.
Or at
Um,
least like
but
search or fetching to
yeah,
pull your key cards.
something, yeah. But Joe certainly lightens the load on how much you should be putting in your deck
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to draw two cards per turn. Like I would be very surprised if you don't.
Yes.
Um, and that's a hefty amount of cards. Like if a game goes 10 turns, that's 20 cards, which is basically your deck. Like you're going to see your deck from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if in chapter 2 we have more permanent weaknesses such that these high draw decks have even less reason to worry about continuing to draw.
Yeah.
Because did we see that his weakness like removes itself from the game, or do you just discard
Nope,
it?
it just discards.
It just
So
discards. Okay, so there is
I think
that.
what you do is you keep it in hand until you've cycled your deck. Then you play it.
Yeah.
And then you're probably good for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those timing things. Like you have to play Winnie like that. You have to play Harvey like that. Now I'm trying to think who else. Patrice, you kind of have to time like what you're doing with your discard pile before she shuffles again. Like a lot of
Mhm.
these high draw investigators end up being kind of that fun little puzzle of, all right, what's the best way to configure this as it's about to reshuffle?
Yeah.
So kind of a fun puzzle to
Yeah.
figure out.
and I'm super excited to break Isabella in Legacy and just start recurring a bunch of different skills that shouldn't be recurred, and like all the recursion cards that already exist in the
Mm-hmm.
game, and
Mm-hmm.
just oh man,
Well, and
it's gonna
Scott,
be
Yeah.
great.
I have a question about that because thinking
Mhm.
about the janky stuff that you'll do with it, and then thinking about a whole nother layer of jank with it, are you thinking that you would do legacy but taboo, or legacy non-taboo and just go wild?
I'm I'm all over the map. Like for a lot of the times I'm building for solo or two player. Uh and it all depends. Like I think I have like 160 decks on Arkham DB that I just have
Okay.
stored away, right? So it's like, oh,
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
go
now I
play a
gotta go
game.
look.
And I'm like, who am I playing with? What do they want to play? Um I would I'm trying to think of what taboo limits in the idea of a recurring Isabelle. And I'm not
Well, and I guess
sure.
I don't mean it specifically about her. Like it's more a
Yeah.
general question for you for when you're doing some of the jank. Because I could
Mhm.
see, hey, if I wasn't sure if you'd already given thought to in that kind of world of is taboo a natural limiter you would use, or is
Mm,
it no? If I'm going to go jank, I'm going full jank, seeing
right.
where I can go. Just generally wasn't sure if you thought about it.
I tend to bounce between the two because I am also the person who that Mandy deck that one guy, I forget his name, made, where it's like by turn 2 or 3 he had got it going infinite, where you can end the game uh based on the scenario, because some scenarios have hard stops at certain like acts and agendas and stuff like that. But like once he got his thing going, like he's basically unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Um, but I also appreciate that not everyone does. And someone else at the table, my other three friends at the table, probably don't want to watch me ruin the game for them, right? But as a thought experiment and as a fun one-time try or playing solo, I'm absolutely okay with that. Um,
Yeah.
but that's also some people don't get fun out of that, right? Like they want the story and they want the
Mhm.
pressure of the limit of actions in a turn and that progression.
Or they just want to
So
feel like an equal contributor.
yeah, but I
Or like
mean,
you're
like
playing the same game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I mean, like Sean, like I don't think like that Infinite Mandy deck. Like I don't think you would have fun playing that solo. Like that doesn't seem up your alley
Sure. No,
to
no.
me.
No, I mean I
Right.
have a respect for degenerate jank. And
Hmm.
it is like in isolated, oh, does this work type situations. Uh
Yeah.
Showing up to an actual game to play with something like
Oh
that is not something that I don't think many, even the people who really like that stuff, I don't think that's a very common intent.
no, I don't think so either.
Oh, by the way, just as a quick aside, I currently have 343 out of my 988 78 Arkham DB slots filled. Although
Ooh.
that comes with a caveat, because ever since I want to say Hemlock, I have started doing the thing where I build the gold deck first and then I
Mm,
back it up to level 0. So a couple of my decks exist in duplicate. So it's probably closer
mm.
to 300.
I know I did a
Throw up your
purge
numbers,
recently.
chat. Throw up your Arkham DB numbers.
I did a purge. I remember a couple years ago because someone asked like, "Oh, how many decks do you have?" And I was at like 400. But I'm like, "Oh, some of these are like they weren't even completed and stuff
Yeah.
like that." I
Hmm.
purged them. Now I have 213 out of my 1,842 available slots. So I
I
Out
have
of
don't
your
know.
three.
Like
how
it's
many available?
1,842.
Oh, okay, you're not that far above it. For some reason, I heard 8,000. I'm like, what? Like, I
Yeah,
know you've
I
posted.
think
I know Dubs did a lot of work for you, but damn, because I don't know
yeah,
if anyone knows
Dubs
this,
and
but the coding of Arkham DB limits the amount of memory you have, your deck building
yeah,
slots, but it increases as your reputation goes up. So as you post decks
yeah.
and get
It was
likes or
Dubs and it was Griefina
griefing.
and and what was it was the Jenny deck that was also a griefing deck.
Oh, sure,
I had
sure.
one. Yeah, yeah. So my two grief decks, and and dubs.
That's
Those
funny.
are my three main ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
123, 230. All right, yeah, we're seeing the hardcores here. We got
Mhm.
this.
And Scott
Yeah,
was
I'm.
talking, so I'll jump in. I have 20.
Sweet.
Now, granted, Sean often builds for me, which I super appreciate. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
ones I have built on my own are at 20.
a fair
How
few
many
of
deck
my
slots do you have available?
343 are Justin's.
How many deck slots do you have available, Justin? 20 out of
906.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So that's higher than I expected because you've never published any. Is that accurate
I
to
don't think
say?
I've ever
Yeah.
published any.
Yeah.
All
But as
right.
long
Well,
as they're not private, like people can search for stuff and like, oh, they can take a look at your deck. Oh, I like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can just
yeah.
find it. So,
Yep, the unlisted stuff is cool.
Mm.
All right, cool. Anyway, yeah. So
mhm.
broader question. I know Ian and I kind of closed the last stream with this, but I'm kind of checking in with everyone as we have more and more information and more time to think about it. But as far as chapter 1, chapter 2, legacy, how do you guys see yourself at this point operating on kind of a day-to-day basis with your Arkham play, like combining the two, keeping them separate, little bits here and there? Like where are you at now?
I think as the core comes out, I'm going to play the core in chapter 2. And I'm going to play chapter 2 mostly in the chapter 2 universe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if I'm going back and playing older stuff, I think I'm going to bring the chapter 2 stuff into legacy.
Sure, but not chapter 1 stuff into chapter 2 very often. You think?
I don't think so for now because I think I want the experience of chapter
Of
2
the
on
limited
its
card
own.
pool, yeah,
Yeah. Iron Man, all bets are off.
of course.
But yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy the feeling of playing Arkham all new again because that's something I haven't had for 10 years.
Yeah,
So,
same.
mhm.
I'm pretty much in the same spot. I think from a content creator perspective, and to be able to, like, we're going to put some focus into doing some new player content so that people have some shit to look at as they're getting into the game. This is going to be a good place to onboard a lot of people who were looking at it before and realized how much there was to buy or just couldn't get it. So I want to focus on chapter 2 and really have a good idea of what chapter 2 does look like by itself.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm going to have to see how the encounter design balances. If it's as scathing as I fear it's going to be, then I might start to compromise. And, I was talking about this with Ian. Like, my one thought is, all right, well, maybe have like 1 or 2 splash slots in any given deck I build for chapter 2, where, like, 2 to 4 cards from chapter
Mm.
1 that would make this build better get, get ported in and kind of
Yeah.
play around with it that way. But we'll see.
Or you know what? Add 1 XP to each card in Legacy to bring it into your deck.
Oh,
So like a
interesting.
level 3 card would cost 4. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
where I'm
that's an
curious.
interesting house rule.
Yeah, I'm very curious with what'll happen with house rules
Mhm.
alongside too. And quick reminder for anybody, we do keep a repository on the website.
True.
If you have others, send them in. Wasn't just doing it as a shameless plug, but also shout out to head librarian Chad who helps maintain that for us. Uh, because yeah, I'm looking forward to it. To me, it's going to be a similar experience to Sean when we finally were able to get me back up to speed with Circle Undone, right? Where
Sure.
I'd fallen behind on things, and I'm up to date now, but I haven't got to go back as much as I want, so I feel a little behind, and so it's that clean break point.
Yeah.
And so I will throw that
Mhm.
out there for anybody listening. If you're trying to figure this out for yourself as well, I can confirm it logically feels weird to just say, hey, I'm going to skip some of this for now and jump to something. But boy, did it feel great. And then I kept momentum and have played everything since. So that's what I'm planning to do here. But then similar to you guys in different, depending on the circumstance, mix and match.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jesse says, just reruns of episodes 1 through 20 of Mythos Busters for new players. Boy, I wish at this point that those episodes aged well enough to be useful. But even episodes 15 and 16, which were our previous new player episodes, are so out of date at this point.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, aside from just the stuff we talk about mechanically, which luckily the game hasn't changed, like that still stands, but everything else has changed. It's wild. And have you guys played the Drowned City yet? Yeah. I've got like 4 completions of it at this point because Justin and I Iron Manned it when it came out, and then I've played it a few times on my own. Generally, a pretty big fan. Um,
Yep.
I do have thoughts about the developers and their precious little elite enemies that they feel a need to protect from player cards, but that's. And I am one of the people who thought that the Obsidian Canyons did get a little bit more intense than I like my Arkham to get, even on the high end. Though I don't know if I had quite the reaction that some people did to it. Okay, more about how salty
Morton's
did
question,
Obsidian
yeah.
Canyons make you? It wasn't salty.
Uh,
It wasn't salty in the same way that like ridiculous like haymaker swings from the encounter deck does. It was more of the
mm,
like, oh shit, I definitely played this wrong. Do I back it up? Do I just roll with it? Like I'm fairly certain
mhm,
at least 3 out of the 4 of my playthroughs of that Obsidian Canyons hold a giant asterisk of
mm,
whether or not I actually technically completed them. So
mm.
but you know, that's more I don't get as salty about those sorts of things, you know. It's more when, you know, the inescapable pops out for the 3rd time and it's like, did this motherfucker need 6 health and elite Nick? Nick, did he?
See, here's the thing though, Sean. Reading the card explains the card, and it says right at the top, inescapable.
Well, I mean,
So,
it does what it
I mean,
says on the tin, that's for sure.
yeah, it's works as advertised. I don't know what to tell you.
And I know Nick has a nerd boner for Nemesis from Resident Evil, which is kind of what that is an homage to. So
Mm,
it definitely feels like that. But it's okay because if you play through that campaign enough times, you figure out how you completely kill and get out of the campaign the inescapable as quickly as possible, which I have now done. So that
mm.
does feel good. Have you guys played much Drowned City up to this point?
Yeah, I've got 2 plays through. I'm looking forward to going again because I did one way, one the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
way,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to. I don't want to. And neither of them did I get everything, so I
Sure.
want to kind of Iron Man light. Like I'm not gonna go crazy Iron Man on it, but like I want to like okay, how do I get all the stuff
Oh,
and like
dude, how
work
do
towards
you
getting it?
get all the glyphs? I have no fuck.
I
You got to be so. There's so many of those glyphs are locked behind random location shuffling
mhm,
and
yes.
revealing, especially in Obsidian Canyons. Like I Scott, all I need to hear from you right now is that we are not going
Mhm.
to shoot for all the glyphs in Iron Man. That's all I need to hear. Unless you figure out a brilliant way to get them.
I I can't say that right now.
Oh god damn it. God
Why?
damn
Why
it.
would you ask him that? You know, you knew what he was gonna say.
I knew what it would ignite in his brain.
I
Um,
am curious. I'm
yeah.
curious if people are house ruling around that too. Like, if it would be, hey, I know it's locked behind random ones. You make sure at least certain random ones are in the game or something. I
It
haven't gone to see updated house rules, but
I think if there's a chance, so what how I view it, if we're looking at that, is if there's a random chance, a random location, like if it's like take these 6 locations, shuffle them, remove 3 from the game, so there's no chance you could get
Yeah,
those.
right.
I don't like that
Yep,
because
agreed.
that feels like. But if it's like one of those ones where the one where the locations are moving every which way and stuff, and it's like
Obsidian
they're
Canyons.
moving, yeah, and that's the one, yeah, and they're moving in and out and stuff like that. That's fair game. It's there. It sucks, and like
Yeah,
randomness may screw you, but
agreed.
at least they're up. It's available to you in the game. It
It's there.
wasn't
You just got to
shuffled
play hard
away.
enough.
Yeah, exactly. Now the thing about Drowned Cities, I have not played solo yet, and I haven't taken dubs through it. So, and that's kind of my test for a lot of campaigns is like,
Sure.
how does it hold up against dubs in solo? Because best deck ever made, um, in my oh so humble opinion. Uh, but yeah, like
We should
it's
reignite the 2-player speedrun team and take dubs and modified for 2-player
yeah,
dubs
yeah,
and
yeah.
Jack or maybe
Monty,
Trish,
yeah.
I don't know. Through at some point, but we gotta get
Yeah.
some play streams together at a certain point
Mhm.
here to start. So
Yeah.
Scott, before I forget, and I know this is years down the road now, but for
Mhm.
the glyphs and maybe even as like a house rule, that I wonder if that could be our variant of plot armor for that playthrough, like we had for you could pick
Yeah.
which for Edge, pick which
One
allies
investigator,
were
yeah.
protected. Maybe that is like, are you playing with or without plot armor or whatever we call it,
Yeah.
and it's so you either know it's in or not.
Deus
I
Ex
actually do
Glyph.
I do enjoy how with Iron Man we do for that day, we have little tweaks to the game to make sure it's a little bit you know, sometimes Arkham can just screw you with randomness, right?
Yes.
Like basic weakness. And the way we got around that is the drawing of the weakness, right? You can get that one redraw because I don't want you to plan for Iron Man all day, show up, and then you get the one exact weakness that just wrecks your deck. Like that's not fun, right? Like
Mm.
and if you did it at home, you just redraw it. We all would. We all know it. So let's just do that. All right, and stuff like plot armor, I think just the minor tweaking like that. I know Nick gets all uppity, but what does he know? Um,
Well,
yeah,
I think we fully wrecked his ability to deal with house rulings and rules purity by the time we finished the Return to Carcosa Iron Man. It was very
yeah,
dicey.
mm, yeah. Well,
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree. And I think that much as I love Arkham, there in my opinion, is a little bit too much important things locked behind simple RNG sometimes. So I have no qualms at adjusting when needed, especially when, you know, you got so much time and energy and planning and people showing up for Iron Man and that sort of thing. So yeah, I sleep
I
very
d-
well at night knowing that we've done those things.
yeah, I don't care, and like I view it like Maxine said, it's a speed run, right?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people who do speed runs of video games where there's slight mods to them
Yeah.
that everyone mods a certain way
Hmm.
because it just makes the game more fun,
Because you
right? Like
recognize it makes the speed run itself a better speed run.
experience, a better
Yeah.
entertainment, whatever you're looking for. Yeah. So,
All right, cool.
yeah.
Well, I think that is about it for content. But Justin, we got a couple news, a couple business items to touch
Yeah,
on before we wrap up, right?
couple quick business items. Just and Scott, I know we talked about you taking one of these. I'm just gonna run with it quick at this
Yeah. Yeah.
point.
Take it all.
Yeah, we just usually like to shout out to our patrons, especially our board, and so we're still trying to figure out exactly what and how and when that looks like. So today it's just the board. So thank you, Rick, John, DTKD, Kevin, Covert Contract Attorney, Ben, Carl, Jared, Jesse, Walker, Patrick, Morton, and Ian. So
Thank
that's
you,
the patron
guys.
shout out. And then you may have seen this around online, and there will be much more to come. But we mentioned that BusterCon is coming back again, switching the name to ArkhamCon, and we're working with our whole new batch of friends who threw ArkhamCon 25. We have dates, so you may have seen that already, but October 22nd through 25th, 2026 at the Games Center in Roseville. We will once again have a hotel block at the Doubletree. Information will go up about that in a little bit. Again, we're announcing all this now many months in advance so people can plan. Um, so watch for that. If you haven't signed up for the emails and you're interested in getting them, feel free to I guess ping us and we can get you over there. You'll want to then whitelist so stuff doesn't get caught in spam. But yeah, it's gonna be good, you guys. It's gonna be good.
And I do love the new spookier dates too. That it feels a little bit more like the Arkham Knights of old, which is obviously the predecessor event that we quite loved. So
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, much more to come from that, but want everybody to know about the dates.
right on. Well, guys, I think that wraps us up for this installment of Mythos Busters. We will be back to discuss Daniela and Dexter and Trish and all of the fun cards that get revealed eventually when they get their reveal articles. So until then, we will see you next time.
Bye.